Hey everybody, I'm back again with another video. In the comment sections of some of my other videos, I've seen that some people have been requesting uh, some Desert Storm stuff. So I haven't really touched on that at all lately. So here I am. Today I'll be showing my Desert Storm impression. This is based on the 325th Airborne Infantry Regiment of the 82nd Airborne Division. The 82nd was one of the spearhead divisions that participated in Desert Storm, and the 325th was on the front lines too. They get overshadowed a lot by the 505th because that's the premier airborne unit. Uh, but the 325th was right up there too. I think they're pretty underrated. Nobody really talks about them a whole lot. So that's why I picked that unit. It's all about, teaching people something new. So, and not many people know about that unit. So, here I am. This is my 325th Airborne Infantry Regiment impression. So, yeah, this is, based on them. Uh, I, uh, I looked at a lot of photographs. I did a good amount of research on the unit and some of the stuff that they did, and I couldn't find a an SOP, which is standard operating procedure. And if you don't know, that's basically the procedure, not really procedure, but just their standards, the unit standards, basically. So, how you wear your gear and how you have it set up and what you carry. Um, but I found an SOP for the 505th, and along with the 505th SOP and photographs of the 325th, I feel I put together a pretty decent representation of what the 325th, how they operated and stuff. So enough talking. So we'll get into it. We'll start over here with my uniform. This is the basic uniform that they would have worn. This is the DBDU, Desert Battle Dress uniform. Uh, this is the shirt, obviously, and the pants are in here. Now, uh, ideally, this would have to have unit insignia on the shoulders, name tapes, and of course the airborne wings, because they were airborne qualified, because they were an airborne unit. But I couldn't find any that had the right stuff on it at the time, and one that was in my size. So I settled for a blank one. So, but I think it suits as a very good. It works good because it's anonymous. Then it can be used for anything. So yeah, these are both dated 1990. They're not a set. I bought them both separate, but they're both 1990 dated. These are my jungle boots. These are standard. Uh, this is basically this is basically the boot that you will see the most of in Desert Storm. Uh, these are yeah, they were used really very widespread all through the 80s, and before when they introduced these. The other boots you'll see are the jungle boots with the black on the sides. You'll see the all leather boots. They're like jump boots. And you'll also see a handful of the. You'll see some of the desert boots, the early ones. You don't see a whole lot of desert boots though. Most guys were issued those right before they left to go home. That is, a handful of guys had them before the invasion and the whole operation started. So yeah, I choose not to use those. There are a handful of pictures of a few guys with them in the 82nd Airborne, during the actual Operation Desert Storm. But yeah, this is what you'll primarily see. So for your best bet for accuracy is going to be these boots, the Panama sole ones. These are used very widespread. I do recommend, before doing anything like this, like with an impression, I highly recommend just doing your research, whether it be actually looking for documents or looking for photographs. Photographs can be your best friend when you're doing stuff like this, and that's, the best way to get accurate. Here is my rifle. This is technically an M16A3. I should have an M16A2. That was, the standard issue rifle at the time for the Army. But this is what I have. It's an airsoft rifle, obviously. I feel it's a pretty okay substitute for now. There's only a few differences. Like the only real difference cosmetically is the removable carry handle. M16A2s had the carry handle that was, part of the upper. M16A3 was the first rifle to have the removable carry handle. So that's really that's the only cosmetic difference. The only other differences were with the internals and the trigger grouping. So yeah, I do have the correct sling on it though. This is actual military surplus. This is what they would have used at the time. It's a silent sling, they called it, because there was no metal hook to, create noise on the swivels and stuff. But yeah. Next is my PASGT vest. This was the standard issue body armor at this time. This was issued to pretty much, as far as I know, all infantry got these. If not all infantry, it was everybody who was anticipated to be on the front lines, because it's important to have body armor if you're going to be directly fighting the enemy. So yeah, this is Now, before you say anything about, oh, where's your 6-color desert cover? You have to have a cover on this. The truth with that is, the majority of people, not majority, but a very good amount of people who are actually going to be on the front lines didn't really put the covers on these. To be honest with you, they were just a pain to put on, and it's the camouflage pattern itself was ineffective. So as it was, so it doesn't really make any sense to have the camouflage if it's not going to work. So what use is it to have the cover on then? So yeah, the majority of pictures you see of guys in the 325th and just the 82nd Airborne in general, they do not have the covers on them. Yeah, you do see a picture here and there, like 1 or 2 guys with the cover on it, but if you really do your research, you'll see the majority of the guys in the unit did not have the cover on them. So yeah, we'll move around here. We'll go up here to my helmet. This is the PASGT helmet, the standard issue helmet at the time. It's a Kevlar helmet. I have the 6-color desert camouflage cover on it. This was actually given to me by a Desert Storm veteran, so this did see action, like service. I mean, it saw service over in the Gulf. It was right there. And then I have my cat eye band with my last name on the front. That's what they did. That's if you look at pictures, pretty much everybody has their name on the front. Yeah, it's pretty standard. Here's my LBE, which means load bearing equipment. It's really standard. LC1 suspenders. I believe this is the LC2 pistol belt. The LC1 has the metal clasp. This has this plastic stuff on it. We have two LC1 mag pouches on here, two canteens, and then a bandage. This is actually 82nd Airborne SOP right here. Uh, they didn't wear stuff on their shoulders. They tried to keep everything on their belt the best they could. I believe that has something to do with the parachutes and doing the static line jumps, because when you wear your parachute, uh, it's either, yeah, I think it's your main chute that you wear it like a backpack, and if you have anything on your shoulders, that'll just interfere with it. So you gotta keep stuff on your belt. But that's in pretty much all pictures you see. You'll see the bandage pouch right there. This is a very basic setup. This is what I've seen the most of. Next, we'll go over here. Here's my gas mask, M17A2 gas mask with the bag. There is like a cleaning thing in here. Yeah, it's the decon kit. It's just those plastic cases that you see with the hook on them. So yeah, this has the hood on it. This is standard right here. Now I'll go over here to some of my favorite stuff, the personal items. My boonie hat. This is surplus, by the way. Black cap here. This is just something that they issue in the military. It's not really. Then we have the standard brown T-shirt. Trouser belt. I just got this the other day, actually. I'm going to be using this with my Iraq War stuff as well. Here are some glasses, sunglasses. These are, I probably shouldn't even have these, to tell you the truth. I'd like to, these are supposed to mimic Ray-Ban Wayfarers, which were a very popular design at the time. But I'd like to get some actual military ones. There was a different design that they had. There's a few pictures of them out there being used. They started using them, the type that I'm talking about, in like the 60s. I don't really know how to explain it, but yeah. I'd like to get some of them to replace these. Here's this card. It was given out to some guys. It's reproduction by myself. This is my own reproduction of the period correct MRE toilet paper, correct with the maker on it, Toughco. Here's a card, an ID card. Here's some Iraqi money, reproduction by myself. Most of the little stuff like this I make myself, like the little paper stuff. I think I'm pretty good at it. I mean, I try to get as detailed as possible. Here's just like a little map that I made a long time ago. Notebook and pen. I have some blousing bands. I don't really use these. I honestly prefer just tucking my pant legs in my boots. It feels a whole lot better. Here's some face paint. Alright, so now everything else you see here. So this stuff right here, this stuff right here, this and this stuff right here. So basically if you draw a line just like this, everything on this side goes in my Alice pack. So we're going to start over here. Here's my chemical suit. I have the jacket and the pants. It's just, standard really. This doesn't have the hood like the newer ones do. Like the ones that they used in Iraq. Like in 2003, those ones had hoods. That's not the right type. These ones don't have hoods in them. Here's the gloves with the, the inner glove. And here's the boot covers. Poncho liner. Here's my night camouflage parka. I don't have the what's it called? The liner. Believe me, that's on the list. They're just a little harder to find because it's not like an M65 jacket liner. There's like slits in the liner, so you can like the pockets on these things aren't real pockets. It's just like a flap, and then you can reach like inside the actual. It's made so that you can open up the flaps and then reach inside your BDU pockets. Like you can reach inside the whole thing and just get in those pockets. But yeah, this is the parka. I know you guys probably want to see this, so. Yeah. I don't have the pants. You don't really see the pants being used a whole lot, so I'm not even going to waste my time on them. So yeah. Here's angle head flashlight and my sun, moon, and dust goggles. Contrary to what a lot of people use as a reference source, which would be Jarhead, I wouldn't strictly go off of that movie. But contrary to what some people may believe, they didn't always wear their goggles on their helmets. In fact, you don't see that a whole lot in the 82nd Airborne. So yeah, that's why I don't have them on my helmet. Here's some personal items, which it's a hygiene kit. Has some foot powder, some soap, boot laces, electrical tape stuff, disposable razor. Those were actually popular at this time. The disposable razors were toothbrush, toilet paper, toothpaste. I have a wash rag right here, and then a towel underneath. And of course, plastic bags to put everything in. Down here we have a spare shirt and 4 spare pairs of socks. That's important. Hygiene is very important, so you gotta take care of yourself. My poncho. This right here is actually a rain jacket. Lots of people actually don't really put these in their impressions, but this was widespread. Like, there's a really good amount of guys that were given these rain parkas. There's actually a picture. It's one of the most famous pictures of Desert Storm, actually. It's like 3 or 4 guys walking. It might be like an airstrip or something, but they're walking down this airstrip, and all 3 of them are fully decked out with their gas masks and these parkas and the pants that go with it. I believe if you're thinking of the same one I am, that is the 82nd Airborne, actually. So there's a few pictures out there of them, using these parkas. But it's something that most people don't even include in their impressions. But so yeah, that's why I thought it was really cool, really neat to have. Not many people have them, so I made these a long time ago. I don't even know why I still have these in here. These are supposed to be MREs. All they are is I printed this out. It's just a piece of paper that I printed out on. I made it on Word, Microsoft Word, and then I put paper in it, like crumbled up paper in it to fill it up. And yeah, I probably shouldn't even have these. It's not really correct at all. I should have. I honestly, I did have some access to some of the correct brown bag MREs that they were using at this time, and every day I kick myself in the butt for not picking some of them up, because this is just, honestly, it's painful. So yeah, here's my Alice pack. I have a 2-quart canteen on the one side and a shovel on the other side. As far as like SOP goes with these Alice packs, this is pretty standard configuration for what you see with the 82nd Airborne, having the the 2-quart canteen on this side and the shovel on this side. That's pretty much what you see a lot. So yeah, here's the cover for it, for the Alice pack. Not many people have these in their impressions, so it's really cool to see. I picked this up in a militaria shop. So yeah, that's the only one I've ever seen in the store before, by the way. They're a little hard to come by. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. Like I said, it has stepped up. The impression has stepped up quite a bit since the last time I showed it to you, over 2 years ago. So I'm glad to finally share it with you again. It's not done yet. I keep, there's, you always find stuff. You always find something to add. I'd still like to get a bayonet. I gotta get a bayonet. What other stuff do I gotta get? Of course, the correct rifle. The liner for this. My intentions for this impression is to try and go like all out. In the 82nd Airborne, I'm not sure if it's like this with the rest of the Army, but in the 82nd Airborne Division at least, they have, because they were part of the RDF at this time, which is, RDF, which is Rapid Deployment Force. They were part of it at this time, which means they were basically the first people to go somewhere. Like, for instance, Saddam Hussein has, he's invading Kuwait, and he's, really causing havoc over there. The first people that they're gonna call to send over there is the 82nd Airborne Division, because they're part of the Rapid Deployment Force. Basically what that means, they had the ability to get all their stuff together and deploy within 24 hours, I believe is what it is. So yeah, that's, it's pretty self-explanatory. But yeah, because of that, they had their stuff organized into 2 bags. All their stuff organized into 2 bags. There was called the A bag and the B bag. The A bag was your duffel bag, I believe, and that's where they had stuff that they, just the rest of their gear. Maybe before I explain this, I should start with the B bag. The B bag would be your Alice pack, and that's where you'd put mission-oriented stuff. So if you're going to the desert, you put all the stuff you need for the desert in there. So that's why, this would be in there, because it's the desert night camouflage. And of course the chemical uniform, because there was a threat of chemical weapons. So yeah, that's, you put all the stuff that you would need for the desert and for this mission specifically in the Alice pack. So that's the B bag. In the A bag would be your duffel bag, and that's where you'd put all the rest of your gear. So you'd put stuff that you were issued but you won't need for this mission. So like cold weather stuff. Basically just, your woodland BDUs, those would probably be in there as well, because you're not going to need those in the desert if you have the desert ones. So that's what would be in there. Just, everything that you have but you don't need is what would go in the A bag. So this will be my B bag. I still have to get a duffel bag and some liners for the A bag, which is the duffel bag. And then I have, there's one of them wool sweaters right there that they were issued. So that'll go in there, and, just a whole bunch of other stuff. So I don't know when it is I'll get to that. I honestly haven't really done a whole lot with my Desert Storm stuff. I'm mainly focusing on Operation Iraqi Freedom right now. I still have some stuff coming in the mail for that. It's almost done, actually, to tell you the truth. It's, the basic impression is almost done. So when I get it to a point where it's, presentable, I'll do a video on it for you. But yeah, so I haven't really been doing a whole lot with this. Sorry about that. So yeah, I don't know when it is I'll do the A bag and B bag stuff, but I have intentions on doing it. I just gotta get the stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Sorry for talking your ear off there a little bit at the end. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.